23 of the Outspoken Sportscast. We got your hosts Brian and Craig here. We got a pretty interesting show today. It's Talks on Tuesday, NFL Power Ranking Edition. Me and Craig are going to go through and give you our top 32 teams in the order of which we find, which we think they are, and that it should be interesting. It's the first time I've actually sat down and done this. Have you done this before, Craig? Have you made your own?
I mean, just
32
on my
teams
just
and
on the
just
outside, just kind of fun, type deal, and see where you think they finish and who's going to pick the division winners and stuff like that. You always got the one team in and one team out at the playoffs type deal from the year before. So, you do it as fun, but never for real.
yeah, and it's funny because we could pick divisions and all that stuff later, further down the road, but you got to try and match them up with your predictions and keep them all together. But we got the NBA update. We got some other headlines as well as we jump on the other side of our intro, guys. Stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome in. We're interested to start this list out, and I don't know about you, Craig, but I found this list a little bit harder when you got not the top teams, in my opinion, but the bottom half. It began to feel like they all just kind of jumbled together a little bit. They're like, who does it really matter who's the worst team in the league?
Yeah, I made a couple changes, flip flopped around. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, no, they're pretty terrible. No, they're pretty terrible.
I did the same thing, and I had the teams out on a different page, and I was deleting them as I put them in, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm still missing 3 teams. Where are these 3 teams at? I had to go back and make sure I got them all, but we got our first ever 32 power rankings. This is a really early power rankings.
I mean,
but it's
no
something
preseason, no OTAs, no nothing. Just, I mean, if you get any of this close to right, you're a genius. I mean,
yeah. Oh, that's the thing.
We
too.
still don't know about the Watson suspension, so I mean,
that could change up your whole board. A lot of different things, but we're going to start off at 32 and work our way down. It's a lot more interesting that way. If you do it the other way around, you hear the top 10, and it's like, really, who cares? Where everyone else is. To me, there was only 2 teams that I felt comfortable putting in the very last spot, and I have the Houston Texans. Who do you got? Who do you got number 32?
Carolina. They don't have a quarterback. Okay. They don't have – I mean, they got McCaffrey, but he's hurt like 89% of the time. So, I mean, I think Rule will be fired mid-season. I mean, that's just a dumpster fire over
clean house there.
Yeah.
I mean what happened to Darnold?
He's there, but is that –
I mean, is
that what you're hitching your wagon to?
Is that no, definitely not. But is that considered not having a quarterback?
To me, it is.
I mean, he thinks he swears he's good. He goes, I'm a good quarterback. We've heard that about 5 times this year.
Yeah, he said he's real good. As he's back in the Brinks trouble. Beep, beep, beep. Yeah, pay me. I'm gonna throw 147 interceptions, but go ahead and keep paying me.
Well, when a guy comes out and has to say he's that good,
I mean, Derek Carr says he's good, just so Kaepernick won't start ahead of him. I'm out on that deal.
All right. Well, number 31. Who do you got, Craig? Who do you got there, number 31?
I got the Texans. They didn't go far in the list, but
they definitely did crack the top 10. Huh?
Yeah, they did stay out of the cellar.
Oh man. All right. Well, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars here. I do think they'll be better this year, but it's a wait and see kind of thing. They have a brand new coach. I think Urban Meyer really killed that team.
Walking around kicking the kicker,
kicking people, cussing people out, calling his coaches pathetic.
You guys have won nothing in your lives.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, buddy.
Yeah. What a horrible coach.
Yeah.
What a horrible motivation that guy is.
I'm the greatest.
Whew.
All right. Thanks, Urban.
What a dumpster fire that was. Complete dumpster fire. And I think Lawrence will have a better season this year with a coach that probably thinks he's, somewhat good. Number 30, I have Atlanta. Atlanta has no quarterback. Atlanta has no defense. Atlanta has a tight end, and their best starting wide receiver is suspended
out for the year because he's gambling. Because we're gambling it up.
Mental health is what they first called it.
Did that what they?
That's what they called it.
Yeah, I mean,
do you have?
I have the Falcons as well. That's exactly
that. Wow. Okay. I want to put a star by the teams that we agree on. Because I don't know. You never know what you're going to get, especially when we get to the nitty gritty of the top 10.
Yeah. I don't think there'll be many stars. I don't think there'll be many stars at the top 10. Yeah, you're going to be like, what did you say?
What did you say?
What? Hold on, is this on?
Actually, I got to change something real quick here. I got to change one of my teams. I said, wait a minute. 29. Who you got at 29?
I got the Jets at 29. That's they had a good draft, but I mean that schedule they've got, we've gone over it, and they may not win a game ever. Definitely not before their bye.
Halfway through.
It's just gonna be they're gonna be over. So I mean, you could have put them anywhere in those 4 spots, but they have more talent than I think than the other 4 teams that I listed. But they're not going to be good enough to come out of the cellar of where they're at.
You're exactly right. I have the Jets here. It's 2 in a row. I have the Jets here at 29. They had a really good draft. Fantastic draft.
Yeah. But we still don't know about their quarterback.
Exactly.
We don't know how the head coach is going to be. We don't know any of that. And we just don't know how any of that's going to mold and mesh. I think it's going to take a couple years, and that schedule they have is just brutal. So
it is deadly. I mean, it's murderer's row right off the bat. That I don't think an inexperienced team is going to be able to get over. Now, how much talent you got, and then you got to get confidence in Zach Wilson, and going up against the teams they're playing right away is a good way to kill that confidence in such a young guy.
Yeah. And take your rookie quarterback and start 0-7, and have to answer to the New York media. It's not going to be pretty.
Not going to be pretty. At 28, I have Seattle. I think this is absolutely time to sell. Dumpster fire. No quarterback.
Start up, baby. Start up.
Let's go. We got 3 in a row. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
You got to. Yeah. I've never been a fan of Pete Carroll. He's run the ball, play good defense, and hope to God.
And he doesn't have a good defense, and he doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
Drew Lock is not who I'm hitching my wagon to. I'm actually unhitching my wagon and letting it run down the hill. So
hey, look, I said this before Russell Wilson went anywhere. I said this last season. Seattle is so dumb. They're going to choose their coach that can be easily replaced over an elite
years old
quarterback,
88 years old, or whatever.
You can't find elite quarterbacks, and they did. They did exactly that, and it was dumb, to say the least. All right, number 27. Give it to me. Do we have 4?
No, I got Jacksonville. I mean, I gave them a little bit of credit, but they're still going to be 27. They're still going to be terrible.
It's going to be bad.
So, yeah, it's just not.
I got a team in your division here. I got the Giants, number 27.
Oh, yeah.
Now, look, they had a fantastic draft, but they have no quarterback. Their running back, who's supposed to be Saquon Barkley,
injured, all the time.
This huge, amazing guy is hurt all the time. Their offensive line's not that great.
Jr.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of their head coach. Well, did they get a new head coach last season? Or no, they still kept what's his face? Well, they got rid of Jason Garrett.
Yeah, they kept Judge though. I think
he's not the guy. He's not the guy. Definitely not. Number 26. I got
I
Chicago.
got the Giants.
The Giants.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're not too far again.
Right.
Differently, again, injured quarterback, same deal. I just went one spot higher in that deal, and then for 25, we just flip flop. I got the Bears at
I got the
25.
Bears at 25.
Yeah.
I got the Bears at 26. They have no direction. They're headed.
No.
They lost their best wide receiver. They didn't even replace him with
Not sure they can even
replaced him with a fourth round draft pick.
Yeah, not sure they can even protect Fields. He's running for his life on every play.
Here you go. You got a quarterback that you supposedly believe in.
You traded up.
You traded up to get him,
and you put nothing around him.
You've given him no help. You didn't get back his best wide receiver.
No.
You didn't draft a wide receiver to the fourth round. You got no one to throw the ball to. I thought Green Bay had no one to throw the ball to, but this is a worse situation in Chicago.
Yeah.
Their best running back just tore his Achilles.
Yeah, in workouts.
In workouts. He's done again for the year. This team is a team that usually relies on defense, but that defense is getting old. Akeem Hicks is not there. He actually just signed with the Buccaneers, which is a good pickup for them, unfortunately. But this defense is not where it used to be. And this team is, to me, looks like to be competing with the bottom of the cellar with the Lions in that division. But number 25, I got the Panthers at number 25. So
I got the Vikings. I'm not impressed with Minnesota. They got Dalvin Cook, but I'm just not impressed with anything they got. I think that division is tough. I think the NFC is tough. I think they're just going to have a tough run. Matter of fact, these next run is basically this division, except for the Packers, is basically what we're on. We're on
Well, I got with the Vikings. My question mark was this. I go, okay, they have talent every year. They always tend to fall short, way short at times. But I remember they have a brand new head coach, and that can change a lot of different things. I was gonna put them way down there like this. I have them a little further up, not terribly far up, but I do have them further up than that. Number 24, who do you got?
That's the Vikings.
Okay, mine's the Lions. I got the Lions here. This team's coming, guys. Do not fall asleep on the Lions. They've got a good team. They've got a coach that they want to run through a brick wall for. Dan Campbell's such a great motivator. He leave it out on there, die on the field type of guy. This team likes to play with him. The biggest question mark to me is their quarterback. They downgraded with a trade to Matthew Stafford, but Jared Goff is a sustainable quarterback. This team's going to be. I don't think they're going to fight for the division, but I do think they're up and coming, and they're not going to be that.
What happens if
bottom?
If Stafford stays one more year with that team? What happens? I don't think he wins the Super Bowl, but I think he would make a bigger run. I got the Lions at 23, right above, that. Same thing. This could be. We're either going to be right on the button that they're a year away, or they may surprise us and make the playoffs. I'm not real sure. Their strength of schedule isn't the worst.
Yeah.
If Chicago and Minnesota are as bad as we think they're going to be, then they could finish second in the division, and we'll see.
Yeah, possibly be
be a wild card or sneak in the back hole. So we'll see.
We're on 23.
Yeah, I got the Lions there.
23 to me. I got the Washington Commanders. A team.
We're all over it.
They just got Carson Wentz. They have Terry McLaughlin. They got a great defense. They've got that defensive line. This defense is good.
And being the quarterback in Wentz, if he's back to his MVP deal, that could be a dangerous team with McLaughlin and all that. But I just don't know.
I'm not a big believer.
I'm not. I think Carson Wentz has washed up. I think his best years are behind him.
Exactly. Well, I thought Wentz could. When he went to Indianapolis,
when he went to Indy, I thought that was the deal. I
And
thought that,
they
but
got
when he
rid of him
didn't
faster than
when he didn't there, I thought that was the end of it. I have Washington at 22. I mean,
Oh man, I'm just stealing your
yeah, we're
team
just
one by one.
yes, yeah, win, 1. You know, I mean, same thing, same reasons apply. I just don't. I'm not a believer in Wentz. I'm not a believer. McLaughlin, he gets hurt half the time. He's great when he's there, but I mean, he's one guy. How much can one guy do? If a defense double teams him, what else do they have? If Wentz doesn't have time to throw the ball, then what do they do?
Did they draft Dotson?
I think
Penn
they've
State?
had him. They've had him. Oh,
Is it Dotson? What's his name?
the running back?
No, the wide receiver.
Oh, I thought they've had Dotson. He was from TCU.
What's his face? I can't think of his. He came out of the draft this year. John Dotson, yes.
Oh,
You're thinking of the wrong Dotson.
okay.
Yes, he was drafted 60th overall by Washington Redskins. That's the guy I think can come in game day one and be a great number 2.
Yeah.
So they added pieces. I just think with the quarterback question marks here and the organization is as poorly run as it is.
You can't be on the left side of the power rankings with a quarterback question mark.
Yeah, you cannot do that. Number 22, I got Miami. They added a big weapon, but they still have. I don't believe in Tua. Tua is not the guy. They got rid of their head coach, which we also had her scratching our head. This new head coach, is he going to do anything? I have a lot of questions in Miami.
Miami will make another return later in the power rankings.
I thought I went back and forth because I want to believe that they're going to be good.
Yeah,
but to me, I got too many questions.
Yeah, Miami will make another showing later on in the power rankings.
Number 21, who you got?
I got the Saints. I just don't believe in Winston, yeah, Jameis Winston,
crab legs Winston,
crab leg guy. I just don't believe in him. I don't believe in their having, who knows which wide receiver, which Mike Evans or not Mike Evans, but
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas shows up. Is he going to get along with the new head coach? There's just too much. Those guys are getting old. I just don't know. There's too many healthy question marks. Running backs health, it's just too much question for me. The same with the next team in the deal. You're going to be like, what did you say?
We'll have to see.
No.
Hold on.
Because this one's going to be a shocker. Actually, I should have probably put him lower. I'm out on this team. Out.
Well, this 21, I got the Steelers.
Yeah, we're close.
And the only reason they're up that high is because
of the Patsy schedule and the defense they got.
The defense.
Sorry, Pittsburgh. Sorry, Pennsylvania.
Sorry, Mitchell Trubisky, but not sorry. I'm not tying my
Pennsylvania. That's my bad, but I can't do it.
Look,
they are higher on mine though.
They drafted the future quarterback. If he pans out to be great or good, somewhat good.
I'm not buying in that guy either. So I wasn't buying in any of the quarterbacks in this draft. I was out on all of them.
It wasn't a huge quarterback draft, but they said this was the guy that was most quarterback ready.
Out.
We'll see. I was not a big. I've seen Mitchell Trubisky in Chicago, and I didn't like it.
I saw Mitchell Trubisky's stat the other day, and I was blown away by it. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it was mind-blowing. Like, he was the only guy to have something QB ranking or
amazing,
some I was just like, what did you just say?
Look, I got a buddy of mine who's a Packers fan who says Mitchell Trubisky's a good quarterback. The Chicago and Matt Nagy is the one that ruined him. So we're gonna see.
But I would say that. But didn't he go to Buffalo or something? And
was a backup. He didn't play.
He never played. Yeah.
He never played.
I don't know.
Number 20, I got the Minnesota Vikings, and the only reason I have them, if Zimmerman was here, I would put him lower. They got a new head coach, and that can change things. This team has too much talent on it to be this bad. They're usually number 2 in the NFC North every single year. Sorry, Minnesota, you're behind the Packers, but it's just the way it is. It's the way of life when Aaron Rodgers is in Green Bay. But I got them here. They're a team that's and as long as Kirk Cousins isn't playing in a primetime game, then you might have a chance to win. Who do you got?
I got the
at
Arizona Cardinals.
At 20?
Yeah. I'm out. I mean, you've got the suspension for the wide receiver. He's going to miss 6 games. You got crybaby quarterback who I'm not coming to camp. I'm not playing games. I'm going to sit down. I'm not going to do any of this. You got who knows if the quarterback's going to come to play. The wide receiver suspended for substance abuse. The Cardinals, that start last year was a fluke. The last 4 weeks of the season, that's the real Arizona Cardinals. I'm done. If I could have put them lower, I would have.
I'm not shocked by that because the Cardinals on my list aren't too much further up this list.
Yeah.
So I'm not completely shocked. I agree with everything you said. I think they got lucky. Their defense is pretty good.
Yes.
Kyle Murray at times. In the beginning of the season
is J.J. Watt going to come back and be a world beater again, or is he going to be hurt? I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I think
a lot of things went their way last season, and then when it didn't, it completely fell off the tracks.
Yes, and I think they're a one-trick pony with the wide receiver, and I think that the loss of him for 6 games is going to hurt dramatically.
Well, they just got Hollywood Brown.
Okay.
So they got some chemistry there with the college quarterback and Murray. The biggest question mark is obviously, is Murray going to show up without a new contract?
Yes. The running back, is he going to do the same thing he did last year? They picked up who'd they pick up? The guy from the Steelers, I thought.
Yes.
And he just had an epic season over there. Like he had more touchdowns than anybody.
James Conner.
Yeah, Conner. He had more touchdowns than anybody. I mean, so can he repeat that season? I just think that's a fluke.
Yeah, he didn't do it, and he didn't do it consistently in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm not sold on the Arizona Cardinals either. So interesting. Number 19, Craig. Who do you have at number 19?
I got the Browns just because of we don't know what's going on with Deshaun Watson. We don't know the Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson. We don't know who's the quarterback. We don't know who how they're going to do. I just think there's too many question marks and too much internal drama to survive that division, to survive the AFC, to survive the schedule they've got. I just don't. I think maybe next year when everything gets worked out, maybe. But right now, I just don't think the Browns are set to do much.
Interesting having that low. I get the questions. I have them. They'll be on the list. You'll see later.
Yeah.
Number 19, I have the Eagles. I think they've gotten better. They had a great draft. They brought in a great wide receiver, but their quarterback, to me, is not the guy. He's not a good quarterback. And I think, honestly, if you don't have a good quarterback, you don't have a chance at winning the Super Bowl or, becoming big contenders. Now you are playing in a division where you can beat up on the Giants and you can probably beat up on Washington, but you're probably not going to sweep Dallas. You probably get swept by Dallas. Just depends. But the Eagles, to me, are a team that's up and coming. They have talent. I think they're on their way up. I just don't think they've found it yet. And only time will tell. Who do you got at 19, sir?
That was 19. I had
Cleveland.
the Browns. Yeah.
Not bad.
18, I got the Steelers. I
not,
just
not
think
too far from.
Yeah, it's not too far. I think maybe the playing for the whole Dwayne Haskins. I'm sure they'll have the memory of Haskins on their jersey, and I just think that schedule, the travel, the least amount of travel, the time zone, I think it probably gets them a couple games. So that's where I put them. I mean, they're not going to be world beaters. They're not going to be contenders for the division, but they'll be middle of the pack. And that's kind of where I got them.
I got the Saints at this position, number 18. The Saints, Jameis Winston's better than what they have had at quarterback with last year after he got hurt. They were decent when they had
Because
Winston.
they had a tight end playing quarterback, but okay.
They're better off with Winston than.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yes.
they had that kid's not a quarterback.
No, and their defense had played outstanding last season.
Yeah,
They're going to get Michael Thomas back. They moved up. They gave up the farm to get Chris Olave. I hear Chris Olave is doing nice things out there. That he looks like he's not a rookie. So we'll see. I really wanted Chris Olave in the Green Bay Packer uniform. But I think they upgraded that. If they can protect Winston and run the ball, I think they're going to have a chance to get second place in the horrible division they play.
I just don't know about Olave. I mean, we'll see how well he does. Rookie wide receivers seem to be hit and miss. So
they definitely do. And this was a hyped up draft of
wide
receivers.
You're
going to have a lot of guys that didn't meet the mark. You're going to have guys that that passed on the guy the Lions took, Wilson.
Yeah.
Who, when he gets healthy, could be the best wide receiver of them all.
Yeah, he could be. That kid was a beast at Alabama. I mean, nobody could cover that guy.
If he didn't blow his leg out, he would have been number one wide receiver taken. But I really like Chris Olave. I like what he did.
No, yeah. I mean, if he does what he did in college, we'll see.
On the other side of he has potential because they're going to be double teaming Michael Thomas. So he's going to have some open looks to do some damage. So we'll see there if Jameis Winston can get him the football. Number 17, I got the Colts, the epitome of mediocre. Now they will be better than they were last year, I believe, because Matt Ryan is a quarterback, and Matt Ryan's better than Carson Wentz. And Matt Ryan, with a horrible Atlanta Falcon team, still put up numbers with consistency. He's got a better team here. He's got a team that can block for him. He's got a team that can run the ball. He has no one to throw the ball to.
He does have the running back.
But he's got a good defense.
Yeah.
A good offensive line, a good running back.
I got the Eagles here, not much higher than you. Same reasoning behind him. I don't believe in the quarterback. But
Jalen Hurts is not the guy,
no,
Philly.
He's not.
Sorry about your luck.
Sorry about your bad luck. I just don't. I'm not believing in Hurts. 16, I got the Patriots. I think last year was just a flash in the pan. I think that kid's okay, but I think their draft was horrific. We talked about
so bad.
We talked about him setting the team up to fail. To leave it as he found it. I'm scratching my head on what they did there. I think they got worse. And so that's what dropped them down, in my opinion, is the Patriots. Everybody else got better while they just kind of stayed still or went backwards. So to me, that's why I put them that low.
Number 16, I had the Tennessee Titans. I'm not a big believer in Tennessee. I think last year was a fluke. They lost their best weapon. They still won some games. I'm not a big believer in their quarterback. They lost their weapon. They don't have where'd their wide receiver go. I think that's going to really hurt this team a lot. I like Mike Vrabel as a coach. I do too. I'm just thinking that they're never going to be good enough to get over the hump, especially with Tannehill as a quarterback.
He did not play well in the playoff game. He did not play well in the playoff game.
No,
they should have beat the Bengals. Ryan Tannehill. That's.
They should have beat the Bengals to go.
Yes. But you had home field. You had all of it in your favor, and you didn't do it.
He threw like 3 interceptions.
Yeah, 3 or 4. Yeah. So next, I got the Colts. 15. Again, not too much higher than you. I'm not. I think Ryan. I think Father Time's undefeated, and I think Father Time's coming for him. I do like their running back. I do like their defense. I do like their head coach. That's why they're a couple spots higher than what you have them. But I'm not. I just think the AFC is too strong, and in the top 10, it's very AFC driven, and I just don't think they have enough to match any of that.
Number 15, I have the Cardinals. The Cardinals are here on my board. You had them at 20?
Yes.
They're 5 spots up, so that's a pretty big jump. I still think they're a fluke from last season. I think they are the team at the end of the season, and we're going to find out this year. They've got a lot of question marks. They've got a lot of in they're fighting in between themselves, the quarterback, the head coach, the organization here. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Remember, like stories were leaked by the Cardinals to make Murray look bad as well. So it goes both ways here.
Yeah.
So they're not happy with him.
There's some
Yes.
internal strife there.
Yes, there is, and that can and
and that's the fastest way to torpedo a team is
oh yeah. Well, once
coach and quarterback not being on the same page.
Once Murray cost them a game, there's going to be those question marks every week.
And one of those games, keep in mind, they won was the Hail Mary, type deal that kid caught.
Like I said, a lot of things fell their way.
Yeah,
when they were winning, so and then they ran into the Packers and it all fell downhill there. Number 14, I got the Raiders. The Raiders. I always have to say the Raiders like that. The Raiders are here. I think they got better. They added Devontae Adams, which in my opinion last year was not last year, but the year before was the best wide receiver in the league. It's fantastic wide receiver. They add him with the weapons and Waller as a tight end and a good running game. Derek Carr is a above average quarterback with the defense. And Max Crosby? That their defensive edge rusher. He was a beast last year. They signed him to a big deal. I think they're on the up, but they play in the toughest division in the NFL. And I just don't know if they're going to be able to get past that.
I get the Ravens. Baltimore.
That's a shock.
That's
pretty low.
Yeah, I just don't. I've never been a
Lamar. I'm not a Lamar guy
Lamar
either.
Jackson fan. My brother won a fantasy football league a couple years ago in his MVP season. We made fun of him at the draft. He drafted him in like the 18th round. I said the dude's got a spaghetti noodle for an arm. And he goes and wins the MVP, and I looked like an idiot. And he's been the real Lamar Jackson ever since.
Yes,
he's sitting out OTAs. He's having trouble with the ownership. I can't drop them much lower because they're a fairly good team, but I can't put them much higher because I just don't believe in Lamar Jackson. And they lose Hollywood, so. Who do they really have for him to throw the ball to?
They got a tight end. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
I said I said last year or the year before that I don't know if it's even a hot take. I guess it's just odds, but to me, the Lamar Jackson will never win a Super Bowl. Ravens will be good.
I totally agree.
But I think
that's why they're 14. Like they're not crashed. They're not bottom of the barrel. They're better than these teams over here on the right hand side, but they're not anywhere near a top 10.
Interesting. A lot of people would say that's too low for the Ravens. I would say that's too low for the Ravens. I'm not a big Lamar guy, but we'll see where I have him rated here in a little bit. And I told my buddy Ryan, who's a big Cowboys fan, I said, "Hey, we're doing our ratings tonight." And he said, "You better have the Cowboys in the top 10." So I guess we'll still have to wait and see where they're placed.
I'm going to fail that assignment, and I'm a diehard Cowboys fan.
Well, Ryan's a little bit of a homer, especially when it comes to the Cowboys.
I just don't like what they did at wide receiver. I mean, we don't know if Gallup's healthy.
Well, let's save that. Let's save that for when we got the Cowboys on the board. Let's save that. I just had to throw that in there in case he's listening.
Yeah.
Number 13, I have the New England Patriots. I do not think first, it's hard to go against Bill Belichick. What he did last year with the rookie quarterback, I thought was fantastic. I didn't think they were going to compete last year. They made the playoffs. What they did was great. Now their draft was absolutely abysmal, and maybe this is Bill Belichick's way of giving the middle finger before they fire him, because if this season goes off the rails and they look at that draft and go, "What the heck were you thinking?" It could be his ending. But I do believe they will fight for second. Well, they're going to be second place in the division. They're not going to beat the Bills for that division. I think the quarterback will get better this year. It's his second season.
I don't think they beat Miami.
Well, Miami's always had their number, even with Tom Brady, which is interesting. But they'll probably split. The Patriots will be in the playoffs this year. Is what I'm. Well, I don't know. That's tough. Because
Will they?
I'm gonna simmer down.
Put a pin in that. Put a pin in that.
I need a board back here with hot takes. I'm gonna put a little pin in that.
Yeah. Put a
really
pin
look
in that.
at the teams because that
Come back to me in about 6 weeks. Put a pin in that. Yeah.
We'll see. Let's see. Number 3. Who'd you have number 13?
I got the Dolphins as 13.
Wow.
I'm.
You're a believer, huh?
I'm telling you. I think I'm not saying he's going to sling it all to the yard, but I believe he does enough to get by. I believe having
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill out there, just having him out there changes an entire way a team has to play you. You're going to see why I say that, because you're going to see why you'll be like, Kansas City is where? Because I just think when you have Tyreek Hill on the field, it changes the entire way. You've got to put a safety over the top of him. You got to put 2 guys here. You got to put a linebacker. You've got to change the entire way of defense. Patrick Mahomes is not going to have the same looks as he had last year because he doesn't have Tyreek Hill with the ability to go stretch the field.
I
that
agree
ability's
with you.
gone.
I agree with you on that.
Now Miami has it. And there's teams that have not had to play that kind of defense in that division and in that side of it. I think Tua can get it there. Well, because he's going to be wide open.
Here's one thing. You're exactly right. Tyreek Hill does change a lot of things. But also having a coach that actually believes in you, because apparently Brian Flores was not all high on Tua and basically said,
I'm not sure if that's Flores or if that's the ownership telling Flores what to do, and he did it. I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. I'd like to know if the truth ever comes out of that.
That could help Tua. I'm just not a big Tua guy. I don't believe in him, and that's why.
He did in college, though. That's what I'm trying to. I mean, he made those throws in college. He made them at the combine. I mean, maybe the hip changed his whole life, but I don't know. We'll see.
This will be the year that
it will be. If he doesn't do it this year, then they need to get rid of him and move on and go a different way, because he has no excuses this year.
No excuses. None. Number 12. Who you got, Craig? Who you got?
I got Dallas. I'm not
Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, I love him, and I think Dak is healthier than he's ever been. Zeke looks like he's in great shape. I love Lamb. I don't think Lamb's a 1. I think Lamb's better as a slot. Better
that's not what Jerry Jones says. You hear what he said?
Well, that's why I'm not Jerry Jones.
He said he's gonna be better than Amari Cooper as 1. I'm like,
well, he'll be better just because he'll be on the field. I mean, Amari Cooper was hurt. that's my only complaint with Amari. But he's a better route runner. He's one of the best route runners in football. He catches the ball. He goes up and gets it. He maybe doesn't run after the catch like CD does. But the bottom line is, if Gallup plays week 1, it changes the whole dynamic. But I don't think Gallup plays till week 6.
6. Ooh, he's at least missing 3, right?
I think they whatever. I thought Pup was 6, wasn't it? If they put him
on the list?
Well, he's on the training camp list. That could change. You don't have to put him on the season list right now. Yeah. But I just don't think. I don't know. If he's ready, he's ready. That changes everything. But Dallas got rid of all these guys that were doing well behind him. All of Dak's favorite targets, Cedric Wilson, and all these. They got rid of them all. Who do they got other than Gallup and Lamb and a tight end to throw the ball to? If you don't have somebody to take the focus off of Lamb, they're just going to double team him and go beat us with the scrub, and they're not going to be able to do it. And so for the first few weeks, I think they're in trouble, especially with the schedule. They come out with Tampa and the Bengals, and I mean, you could be 0-2 or 0-3 right out of the gate if you don't have Gallup. So that to me is why I said that.
The good thing is your division, and you can play a little catch up.
It is, but I mean, I still think Washington's better than they were last year, and I think the Eagles might be better than they were last year. You're not going to walk to 6 wins.
Yeah. interesting with Dallas. Amari Cooper is going to be a big hit. And there was a stat last year that said when Amari Cooper was on the field, Dak had like a 70 something QBR, and without him, it was like a 32. I was like, oh my god, that is a huge drop off. Losing a big weapon like him, and the big question mark. Did the Cowboys
losing him and not getting anything in return? You didn't replace another wide receiver. You didn't get you already had Gallup, so that's not a replacement.
Yeah. Well,
and you got rid of Cedric Wilson, and you got rid of I mean that offensive line is questionable. I mean there's a lot of question marks right now with the Dallas Cowboys.
And we hear every year Zeke looks great.
Great,
and then
he does.
He has a decent years. So you look at his numbers, but he never That's the difference with me and Ryan is Ryan will go, well, here's the numbers. He obviously played great. Well, when I
played better than the 2 years before when
I look at the
fatty pants.
When I look at the eye test, I go, I don't think he's really that big of a factor.
He just doesn't have the breakaway speed anymore. He just doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Well, number 12, I have the 49ers. Great defense. I think their offense can be good if they can keep Debo. If Debo goes somewhere else, this team is not the same.
Agreed. It would change my complete look from where I have them. But
if Trey Lance is a starter, if they trade Jimmy, that's a big difference. Some growing pain years there for the 49ers, but their defense is good. And I just had to put him number 12 just because of that and Debo. But if Debo's gone, then
it'll change it.
Number 11.
I got Vegas.
Got the Raiders. I could see it.
I think the addition of Adams and the defense and a new head coach and Josh McDaniels. I think that is. I mean, that guy's an offensive guru. I think that they could really do some things offensively in Vegas that really change that thing. The division's tough. I get it, but I think that they can do it. I think that they can. I mean, they competed last year. They made the playoffs. I think that interim coach got a bad shake, and so
the players wanted him.
They did. And that's what I'm saying. So there's something about McDaniels. There's something about McDaniels that they liked over that guy, and I don't know what it is, but I guess we'll see it.
That's my question mark with the Raiders is first of all their division, second of all is the head coach. We saw Josh McDaniels go to Denver and completely flop.
That was before Denver really had a team. I think this is a much better team. So if he flops now, well then it's Josh McDaniels.
It kind of reminds me of Jason Kidd in the NBA. Jason Kidd went to the Bucks. And he was horrible, and there was all this in team fighting, and he treated players like crap. And he goes to He goes to the Lakers, then he goes to the Mavericks. And my biggest concern, was how is it going to be? How is it going to be? Is it going to be the same? And he's completely changed it up. So I think Josh McDaniels could have a redemption here.
He could.
They asked him about it, like what made you change your mind to be a coach now? What are you going to do differently? And he talked about it's treating people differently.
I think he learned in Denver.
Yeah,
I think he learned in Denver.
I think that's a big thing. So, number 11, I got the Dallas Cowboys at number 11. So not far behind you there. They're not a top 10 team. They have some talent. They've got a lot of question marks that we talked about. Can Dak win without Amari? Can Dak win without a great offensive line? This is the season to me that's going to make or break Dak Prescott. Can he win without having what they call the silver spoon? They call them silver spoons Prescott because he's always had this, he's always had that. And when you take some of those things away and you have a beat up offensive line, can he still get the job done? Is your defense going to be better? They lost Randy Gregory. Micah Parsons was a complete hit. He's an absolute beast. Got Randy Gregory there, or not Gregory, but Lawrence, which I thought was on the way out, but he stayed there. Who's your cornerback that everyone was so good, so thought he was so great last season?
Diggs,
talented, ball hawk, gets beat. He's not a shutdown cornerback by any
No,
means.
yeah, no, he goes for broke, and if he guesses right, then he wins.
And
But if he
he
doesn't
gets
guess right,
beat
he's
like
going to
he
give
stole
up more.
something.
He's
Yeah.
going to give up more yards than anybody.
I mean, I like his aggressiveness, and he's young. He can learn.
He
But
needs to learn when to use that and when not to. I know how,
Yeah. I got the number 11, Ryan. If that's not good enough for you, then I don't know what you're really wanting me to do. Number 10, I got a team that you have pretty far down there. I got the Baltimore Ravens. And look, I agree with you. What's his face? Lamar Jackson is not the guy that's going to take this team to the promised land. And I really think that's why they're having contract disputes. Maybe Baltimore doesn't want to shell out $55 million a year for a guy they know is limited. And he's too explosive to say he's complete trash, right? He will win games. This defense will help him win these low-scoring games. They just took away their best wide receiver. They have one of the best tight ends in the league. Hopefully the running backs can not blow out their legs this year, all 5 of them. And I think they're too good to pit below the top 10, but I just don't think they're going to be good enough to get over the hump and win in the championship, in the Super Bowl or anything like that. But I think they're too talented to pit out of the top 10.
I got the Kansas City Chiefs.
Another one. Now look,
I think the loss of Hill exposes this team for what it is. I don't think they can stretch the field. I mean, yes, Mekhi Hardman can probably try to take that spot.
MVS.
But he doesn't catch the ball like Hill. He doesn't run the route like Hill. He doesn't.
MVS. You know who I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, come on. He came from Green Bay. It's Valdez Scantling, and he is a guy.
Just don't.
Look, I'm not just saying this because he's from Green Bay. Look, everyone in Green Bay loves him. I didn't really like the guy. He's fast. He's that guy that can stretch the field. He actually has more 40-yard catches than any wide receiver last year in the NFL. So he can spread the field. He drops a lot of passes.
And there you
I
go.
don't think he's the guy, but
I just don't.
He's the guy that they're trying to replace Hill with as far as burning it down the field.
I think that you can change the way you play Kansas City defensively. You can focus more on Mahomes. You can give him some different looks that he hasn't seen before. I just don't think it's going to be the run and gun Kansas City Chiefs that you've had in the years past. And I think in that division, I think the Chargers and I think the Broncos are around, and they're going to give them a chance, and I just think that they're going to face a little bit tougher of a road than the cakewalk 10 wins that they've had the last several years. I just don't think they're going to have that.
Number 9.
I got the Broncos. I love their defense. I love the way, they got a quarterback now. They said they were a quarterback away, so here it is. Here's your quarterback. So if again, all in, they put all the chips in the middle of the table. If you don't succeed this year and don't make a good run, then that's on you, because you said you were a quarterback away. You said you had all the other pieces. You said you had everything like that. And I just it just I think that unfortunately if they don't do it this year, then this season was a failure. They went in all in for Russ, and I just think that's what we're gonna have to do.
You're saying if they don't win the Super Bowl, it's a failure?
Well, not a Super Bowl, but I mean a deeper playoff run. If they don't win the division, if they don't make the playoffs, if they don't, if they go and lay an egg and go 8-8 with Russ, then because you said you were a quarterback away, and management went out and got him, and traded the house to get him. So you better make it work.
Number 9, I got the Cleveland Browns. And this is all if Deshaun Watson's playing. Because if Deshaun Watson's not playing...
But he's not playing the whole season. There's zero chance of that.
Maybe. You never know. No. It's Roger Goodell. No. He may only miss 4 games. What if he misses 4 games?
23 counts.
Hey, Don't give away headlines.
No, we're
No,
not.
look.
We're
Look.
not.
I
He's
base
not
this
playing.
on. I base this on if he's playing this season. We'll
It's great.
see. He might miss a couple games. He might miss 6. He might miss the whole year. He could miss 4.
I think he's gonna miss the whole year, but I think 6 is. I think the 6 is the baseline. That's the rule.
You never know with Roger. That's the problem is you never know with Roger Goodell. Ray Rice can knock out his wife and drag her in the elevator, and he gets 2 games. You never know with Roger Goodell.
Actually, he got banned from the NFL for that. So
well, that's unofficially.
Yeah.
So that's why I have him so high. If not, it completely kills it.
Yes.
Number 8, I got the Bengals. The Bengals number 8. I think Joe Nasty is going to come out again and be awesome. The wide receiver Jamar Chase is a freaking beast. This defense will play just as good, hopefully better. It's just again the AFC has. The AFC is the team to beat, the division to beat this year. I think the leverage went over to that side of the the conferences, and I got the Bengals here. I didn't want to put them up too high just because they was this a fluky year? I want to see them kind of do it again and compete with the big boys. But I got the Bengals at number 8, and I'm really a big fan of Joe Burrow. So
I got Tennessee. I like the running back. I like the defense. I like Vrabel. I don't like Tannehill, but he seems to be able to manage games, except for the playoff game that he didn't manage. But he seems to be able to drive the bus, as they call it, and keep them in games and let the defense take over. And I don't know. They've been steady. They've been the consistent. I didn't think he could be the consistent, and he has the last couple of years. So that's where I put him.
I don't like that one bit. Number 7.
I told you were gonna like the top.
No. Number 7, I got the San Diego, the Los Angeles Chargers. I think they had a fantastic year last year. I think they will build upon it. There's this team, man. This quarterback, Justin Herbert, is an absolute dog. Okay, he's not afraid to throw the ball. He throws a deep ball on a dime and puts it out there with some of the best deep ball you can see. The head coach, I like the head coach. I think he's done a good job with his team. The defense got better. They got Khalil Mack. They have Khalil Mack and Bosa from both sides of the ball rushing to the quarterback. This team's gonna be good. This team's gonna be really good. It's a tough division. We could see any of those. I think any of those 4 teams could win that division. In all honesty,
it will be a slobber knocker. They will beat each other up.
It's gonna be great. Who do you have number 7?
I got San Fran. Again, like you said, it all is going to depend on if Debo's not there, then no. If Jimmy's not there, then no. And if but I think what they did last year was not a fluke. I think they played some really good football when they needed to, and I think if they can play that kind of football all year, then I think they're going to be a team to deal with, especially in that division. It's a little tougher, but I don't think Arizona is going to be as good this year, and Seattle's not going to be as good this year. It definitely did with Seattle and Arizona. I think you only got one team you need to beat, and that's the Rams. So, and that's going to be a tough sled. But I think the division definitely got easier, and I think the 49ers are a tough team to deal.
What's funny with the 49ers is, for me at least, is I think they won despite Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not a big fan.
I think Jimmy Garoppolo went out. I think Jimmy Garoppolo went out and made a playoff run to up his free agent test because he really thought he wasn't going to be there. I really think Jimmy Garoppolo thought he was his whatever loss they had was going to be his last game as a Niner. I really believe he thought.
Well, he played really bad against Green Bay.
Yeah,
we just we killed ourselves that game. But
I mean,
Trey Lance could come in and be better.
Maybe,
you know, you never
I wasn't
know.
impressed
I
with what I
just
saw from him in the little bit
the
I
short
saw. I
stance.
wasn't impressed.
You got to give the 49ers some respect after what they did last year. Number 6, go ahead and lay it on me.
I got the Chargers. I think
Chargers.
that I think he's the quarterback's the real deal. Herbert's the real deal. I think the wide receivers are solid. I think the running back's solid. I think the defense is solid. And I think that that's a very, very solid all the way around, top to bottom, full roster team.
I have the Kansas City Chiefs at number 6. And I knocked him for having, getting rid of Tyreek Hill. They try to replace him. You're not going to be able to find as a big of a replacement for Tyreek Hill. I think Patrick Mahomes is the teams are starting to figure out Patrick Mahomes, especially his division. I think I'm going to knock him a little bit. And knocking them a little bit and put them at 6 still means they're a team to be reckoned with. I think the defense will play better. The defense last year started off really bad, and they got better as it went on. But
I just can't with the top 5 I've got. I can't justify them beating any of these 5 that I got up here.
Number 5. Who wants to go first, me or you?
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, I'll go first. I got the Denver Broncos. I think this team, and I've been saying it for a couple of years, they're quarterback away.
Yeah.
And a lot of people laughed at that. They are. They have a great defense. They've got talented wide receivers. They just need a quarterback. They got a great running back. The rookie running back, I forget his name. I think it's Williams. Last year was a beast as a rookie. You put that behind Russell Wilson. You put with some play action passes. You put that Jerry Judy's out there. He got hurt last year, but he'll be full strength this season. Someone to throw the ball to. They got Courtland Sutton on the outside. They've got Noah Fant, tight end. So they've got weapons, and this defense is the best part of this team. This team's going to be deadly, and this team, I'm going to go ahead and say it, I think this team wins their division this season. All chips in, pays off the Denver Broncos, in my opinion.
I got the Green Bay Packers. They may not have a wide receiver to throw the ball to, a top one, but you just never doubt Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I mean, every year you do it. Every year you doubt him, he goes and proves you wrong. So I just think
his own team did it, and they drafted a quarterback.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. And I think so. So until maybe this year, if I go, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is the guy, he'll fall on his face. But I just think.
Don't test that theory.
The Green Bay is still a team that you're going to have to deal with in the NFC, and especially going to Lambeau in December. I just think that's a place you don't want to play. So I still got Green Bay in the top 5.
I think we're going to have the same 4 teams in our.
We're not. We're not.
We're not.
No, because you already mentioned one of the ones that are up there, and they were way down your list.
I don't know, because I still haven't seen you name any of these. But I have the Green Bay Packers number 4. Aaron Rodgers, two-time MVP back-to-back in the last 2 years. He's fantastic. Can never count him out. We lost Davante Adams. That's going to hurt us. But I also remember Matt LaFleur is 8-1 without Davante Adams. His offense is schemed up where he could win, help or have a chance to win. Without Davante Adams, we got one of the best 2 running backs in the NFL, one of the best duos, probably top, I say number 3 duo in the NFL as top as running back goes. But I'm not here to talk about the offense. This defense is fantastic. We have a top 5, I say top 3 secondary in the NFL. We got guys that can get to the quarterback. Rashawn Gary led a lot of the numbers last year and pressures. He's a top 3 rusher to get to the quarterback. Preston Smith is great on the other side. We got Devontae Campbell in the middle, baby. Highest rated middle linebacker last year. Love our defense. That's the way we're going to go, is defensive minded this season. I really like the way we're headed. But yeah, you can never count the Packers out. And I really like the pickup of Christian Watson. I'm hearing great things out of camp already, saying that this guy is very gifted and talented. And I think Rodgers will be able to put him in day one and have him make a difference. Who you got?
I got Tampa.
Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Okay, see?
I think I like the pickups. You know, my favorite sayings, Father Time is undefeated. Well, he might have one loss on his record because Tom Brady has defied of all ages, and I think this is his farewell tour, and I think he's trying to ride out on top, and I think he's going to give it a hell of a run. So Tampa is as long as they stay healthy, long as Evans and Brady and the defense and all them guys stay healthy.
And they just added Akeem Hicks.
They just added Akeem Hicks. You know, I just think the head coach is a question mark now by changing the coach and putting the defensive coordinator up there. You know, does him and Brady get along and mesh, you know, or whatever. But I still, you just cannot. Again, every time I doubt him, he double barrels me and tells me I got it, and I'm going to prove everybody wrong.
This is what happened with Tom Brady. Tom Brady was retiring, enjoying his life, and he looked and goes, wait a minute, that's my division next year?
Yep.
I could win that with 7 games.
Yeah, they
get rid of
guys. They get rid of the only competition he had was Matt Ryan, and they traded him, and he was like, I could go out in my hover round and win 8 games. So I'm gonna
got to show up to practice so we can win this division, guys.
I'm gonna be there. I'll just fly my own personal jet to the games. So I think 100%. I think that there's a possibility they fall flat on their face, but I don't. I just think they're on the revenge tour. Especially if they get Gronk back, I just think they're on the revenge tour and they try to ride off into the sunset one more time.
We're at number 3, right?
Yep.
I got the Buffalo Bills. Number 3. Josh Allen's just an absolute beast. They've got they got a good wide receiver core. Their defense played better last year. They should have beat the Kansas City Chiefs and been in the Super Bowl. Should have, would have, could have. I think this is the team. I think this is the team. I didn't put him number 1, but I think this is the team in that AFC to beat this year.
I got the Rams. I think they don't lose anything. Odell Beckham's still out there. He might resign with them. Sean McVay is a guru. That defense is stout. I just think they're the real deal. They're going to try to run it back. They're going to try to be as good as they can be. I think that's the team in the NFC that it's going to have to go through. So
what's your number 2?
I got the Bengals. Jamar Chase is a absolute monster. That defense is deal. Joe Cool is the real deal. He doesn't care. He's just here to prove people wrong. He slings it around the yard. If he makes a mistake, he you know how guys go over the sideline and think about it for the next 30 minutes. He doesn't. He'll come back out and throw the same pass and go, I got it. And I don't think last year was a fluke. I do not think last year was a fluke. I think that team rode in and proved everybody wrong, and I think they're back to do it again. And I think I love that head coach. I love the way he's done with that team. I love the way they play for him. I love everything about that team. When they went in the playoffs, I watched every Cincinnati Bengal football game. I watched every minute. I was rooting for them in the Super Bowl, and I think they should have won the Super Bowl. And I love it. And I just think there's only one team that I haven't mentioned yet that will beat them.
They should have won the Super Bowl if they block what's his face for 2 more seconds.
100%.
Jameis is riding on Chase is riding on the sideline. Look, I'm not trying to kill it because I love Joe Burrow. If I could buy a Joe Burrow jersey and wear it,
I would wear it every Sunday
because that son of a gun is it's not a fluke. This guy is a real deal.
Nope. When he blew his knee out, when he's standing in college smoking a cigar, they're like, "You can't smoke in here." He's like, "Don't give 2 bleeps."
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, He's an absolute beast. I love Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I think people have him so high up because of what they did. I just want to see him do it again. Can they
I
do it
do,
again?
and I think he will. I think he answers the bell.
Number 2, I've got Tom Brady and the Bucs. Tom Brady and the Bucs. Look, without Tom Brady, the Bucs are in the 20s. With
100%.
Tom Brady adds that much of a difference, and I was really PO'd when he came back. And I think we all were celebrating when he left, and then then when we heard he came back, and everyone was like, "I hate you, Tom Brady." Oh my gosh! But they're going to be good. Tom Brady is not a loser. He will compete. He's going to win his division in his sleep and compete in the playoffs.
Yes, I agree.
We got someone talking. Jeff says, "What's up?" from the car on the way home. Hey, Jeff, we're doing a power rankings of the 32 NFL teams, and I think you should listen to it because we do have the Denver Broncos, or I have the Denver Broncos up number 5. So I think you should listen to it because you would like what we got to say. Number 1,
the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is Josh Allen. I believe how you let Kansas City march up the field in 8 seconds. And
killer
and deflate your season after Josh Allen just lays his heart on the line was so demoralizing. I think this team is the real deal. I think they win 13 or 14 games, and I think they are a powerhouse to deal with this year.
I respect that. Look, I had the Bills number 3. Number 1, I've got the Los Angeles Rams.
And until they prove differently, I can't fault you. I mean, I can't.
Especially
if they add Beckham back.
Well, I look back and I go, I don't want to just do it because they won the Super Bowl. But not only did they just win the Super Bowl, they've added a great wide receiver from Chicago. They've got better at the wide receiver position. If they were to add Odell Beckham back, this would be the best wide receiver crew in the NFL. They have a beast of a defense. Their head coach is great, and I just think that the Rams will be that team to beat. I really like the addition of Robinson. It's Robinson, Allen Robinson from Chicago. We had that with Cooper Kupp. You had that with their tight end and their great running back. And look, I said it last year, and I was wrong that Matthew Stafford would cost his team with the interception in the playoffs, and it should have happened against San Francisco.
Yeah, no, I agree. But gunslinger Matt over there, he lives by it and dies by it, and last year he lived by it. But I just we'll see if they figure out, if anybody can figure out McVay's master scheme. It seems to. I thought we had it figured out a couple years ago when they struggled. He seems to have the upper hand again. He doesn't have to tell the quarterback what to do. He doesn't have to break the defense down for him in the headset while they're walking to the line. He just has to call the play and step out of the way. So yeah, no, I think we have difference in opinions a little bit, but I think overall we're not terribly far off on, on anything. Nobody was 1-32. I mean,
yeah, I got Texans number 1, buddy.
Yeah. So,
yeah, no, we were pretty close. We had a couple of the same. We had 3 or 4 the same, but
yeah, I knew we weren't going to once we get to the top.
The top.
I knew the Bengals weren't going to be a popular 2, but I believe in them until they prove me wrong.
You can say that with mine, number 1, recency bias, but I think with the Bengals, it's recency bias, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
But I want it to be right because
that guy made the playoffs the year before, so it's
Jamar Chase, my goodness.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we already cut out a couple headlines because this episode is already an hour and 10 minutes, and that's okay, but not for my bedtime. Let's go ahead and jump into the headlines after this. We haven't used that last week, and I think we should. I think we should use that a lot more often. That little headlines. Jeff says Green Bay's number 1, and hey, look, I can't fault you for putting that. We got Aaron Rodgers, even though I don't think it's what you truly
trying
believe.
to get on the Homer bandwagon.
Hey, Green Bay could be number 1. We're gonna have a top 5 defense. We should have a pretty good offense with Aaron Rodgers, but I'll save that for a Green Bay podcast or something coming up.
Yeah. Do that on the Packer cast.
I'll go solo and do my own little Packer cast there. All right, guys, we got a couple different headlines for you. We got an NBA update. Is the Celtics and Golden State will be in the championship, and it's exactly what we thought as far as the Celtics beating Miami. Craig called Golden State winning the thing before the playoffs started, so I will give you credit. I think the Celtics, though, are going to win this in 7. What do you think?
Where's my money? What do you want to bet?
Hey, we didn't. Hey, I'm not that high strung on the Celtics.
Buy lunch.
Look,
buy lunch at your taco truck.
Hey,
I just think.
Oh, we'll do that. We're on lunch at a taco truck.
All right.
Whoever.
I just think Golden State's too tough. I just think. I think they're on a mission. I think they're on a revenge tour. I think they're on a everybody's healthy. They've been injured the last few years, and
Jordan Poole came out of nowhere.
I just think Steph is you're gonna see good night. Put him to sleep. Bedtime. Over. I mean, I think it goes 6 or 7. I don't think anybody comes in and deal. I question Boston's health. I just don't. I think Kerr is a better head coach. I think Kerr is a absolute better coach.
Better head coach. No, he definitely is. Look, my head says Golden State. My heart says Boston. Jeff says between each other's routes, whoever loses has to do another route. That person's route for the week. That's how you. How you end up with accident.
Brian don't want no part of that. He don't want no part of this recycle route.
I don't want no recycle route.
He don't want no part of that.
140 miles a day.
Yeah.
No. We will bet lunch, though. We just did.
All right.
Look, my head tells me Golden State, but my heart wants to say Boston.
So will your pocketbook.
My pocketbook will probably say Golden. On the receipt, it's going to say Golden State.
Yeah. All right.
That starts Thursday night, so.
Yes. I can't wait. I cannot wait. You won't watch any of the games. I'll tell you in the safety meeting who won. Because I'll be watching all of them.
Yeah, I'll be asleep.
That's why I'm better at this than you, is because I don't care about bedtimes. I just stay up and watch stuff.
Oh, we're talking now, huh?
Yeah. But I just think I don't know. I think it'll be 6 or 7 games. I really do. I just don't think either team goes in there and just walks over the other one. I don't think you're going to see the 30-point, 40-point losses. I think you're going to see close games down to the fourth quarter in every one of them. And I just think Golden State's experience and head coach gives them the edge.
I can't argue with that. It's all gonna come down to the Celtics defense.
Yeah. Which defense shows up? I mean, can they lock Golden State down? Nobody's done it yet. Dallas didn't do it. Dallas was able to do it to Phoenix. Dallas was able to do it to Utah. They weren't able to do it to Golden State. Kid wasn't able to make his magical adjustments to Golden State. Golden State always had an answer for everything he did, and we'll see if they have an answer to what Boston does. I'm sure they've been watching. I'm sure Kerr's been watching, and I just think they're too deep. I think they have too many weapons with Poole. When you're bringing Steph Curry off the bench, that, sir, means you have a deep roster.
That's insane.
So
we have some terribly sad news in the NFL yesterday as 25-year-old Jeff Gladney, Arizona Cardinals cornerback, has died in a car accident in Dallas. He was back in Texas because he played for TCU in the college football. He was drafted by the Vikings. He was in a car accident that ended costing his life. Sad news is 25 is far too young to pass away, leaving his family behind. But with thoughts and prayers, um, to his family. And you never want to see that and have these teams. And Arizona Cardinals teammates probably got to be a little shaken
Yeah,
right now.
they just found out. I mean, Arizona just went and signed this kid because he had the thing with Minnesota where he was involved in that lawsuit against his girlfriend, and they cut him. And it comes out that was a no go. The judge threw it out, and so this kid looked like he was back in the NFL and back headed in the right direction. And
This is
the
the same
Cardinals,
guy? I
yeah,
didn't know it was the same
that's
guy.
why
Wow.
the Vikings, when the Vikings drafted him, that's why he's 25 and he's already been on another team, is because
Right.
this was the kid who had the domestic violence charge that and he just got thrown out. So when he got thrown out, Arizona scooped him up off waivers and said, "We'll take him. We're gonna get a top." This guy's a first round draft pick.
Yeah.
And they got him for next to nothing. And so Arizona was ecstatic. They were over the moon that they were gonna to have this guy lock the back end of their defense down and deal. And then I didn't even hear about this since it was in Dallas. You would think that a traffic report of highways closing and cars rolling over. I just hope, I know that I'm probably going to be wrong, but I just hope that alcohol and other things weren't involved. It sounds like he was going at a high rate of speed and clipped another car, and his rolled over, and him and another female that has not been identified to my knowledge yet was in the car with him, and they both were
passed, yeah.
on the scene.
They hit they
hit some
hit
pole or
a median, I believe.
Yeah, median or
concrete
pole or a ballard or something. And it sounds like to me they were going way faster than what 70 or 75 that was supposed to be. So that's sad. This kid was getting another chance and was excited about it, and his TCU brothers are just devastated. They lost a best friend and a brother, and it's just real sad to see something at 25 come to an end, especially in this manner.
Exactly. Judge, well, we got some good news. The judge dismisses charges against Jerry Judy. This weird little debacle that happened between him and his girlfriend, wife, I don't even know, someone.
Significant other.
There you go. Good news for the Broncos. Do you think the NFL will do this? Will they step in and suspend him a couple games, one game, fine him?
I think they need to go back and look at Deshaun Watson before they worry about Jerry Judy. I don't think that. I think this was just a Denver or Colorado interpretation of the law. Right. I don't think he did anything wrong. I think this was just Colorado law says if you do this, then we have to do this.
Yeah.
So they did what they had to do to cover themselves, to protect their officers, to protect whatever. But I think when the officers did it, the officers knew this was just, he was trying to remove the child from a toxic situation. She didn't like that. He was trying to remove the child from the toxic situation. So they played the Denver law of he can't do that. And then once everybody went to their separate corners and calmed down, they realized, yeah, I had some fault in this too. I don't want to put him in jail. He doesn't need a deal. I don't want to lose money from the NFL because that pays my bank account. And so we're just going to make this all go away. It was a misunderstanding. My bad. And so I think that's exactly what happened is I think there was an altercation. I think he wanted to remove the child from that altercation. I think she went ham banana and said, you're not going to do that. And then the next day realized I may have went a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Let me just back this down a little bit. So
yeah, great. It was a weird.
Yeah,
it came out in a weird way. It was what did he do? And it didn't seem to be like a whole lot of nothing. So
yeah,
Speaking of looking into Deshaun Watson, we found out today Deshaun Watson has a 23rd woman accusing him of wrongdoing in the lawsuit. And I put a little.
I would love to know. I would love to go match the name list, and I would love to know if any of these 23 are the 3 that he was approved to sleep with, that he admitted to sleeping with. I would love, because how's that work?
Well,
How's that work if you consented to sleeping with him? How are we suing him? So I would love to be able to match those
I
names
think
up.
they are in here.
I would love it.
Here's a little part of the article I clipped out. It said his behavior grew worse, the woman claimed. During the third and final massage, the lawsuit states that Watson exposed himself to her, touched the woman between the legs, and repeatedly requested the plaintiff to have sex with him. This is something we don't ever know. This is something we're never going to know the answers to. 100%. Deshaun Watson could have done all these things and get off on it. He's got no criminal charges against him.
Well, he is going to get off on it. He is going to get off on it criminally. He is not going to face anything criminal. He's going to pay. He's going to pay all 23 of these women, and he's going to pay them substantially, and it will go away. Now, what the NFL does with it is up to them. I think they have to make a statement here. I think they lose complete control of the league and complete control of this behavior policy. This is a joke if they do not suspend him for at least 6 games. That is the standard. That is the rule. That is what's in stone. If you have one of these situations, this is the deal. And if they do not stick to that, if they do not go a minimum of this, then take the whole behavior policy and throw it out, because that's what it's here for. It's here to put these guys, to not let them think that they're bigger than the world and think that because they make millions of dollars, they can go do whatever they want to whoever they want, however they want, and there's no fallout from it, because we already know that the criminal law is scared of them. If you're attached to the NFL, criminally, you can do whatever you want. There's guys that walked in and 2 years ago with guns, stole a bunch of Rolexes and robbed a poker game and shot the place up almost, and both of them were on an NFL roster a year and a half later. It just blows my mind on what some of these guys do and what they get away with. You cannot let this slide. If this guy is going to, the word massage shouldn't even be in this, because that's not what happened.
Well, look,
on any occasion.
Look.
And you don't need 23 of them. You need
that
one.
That opens up when he admitted to having sex with 3 of them. That opens up to how many of these did he go in and go, well, maybe she wants to have sex too. Maybe I can do this. Maybe if I do this, she'll give me this.
It's the only reason you have 23.
Made a lot of women uncomfortable.
Yes.
Jeff's making some jokes here. Why got me a little laugh, and he said, Jeff says, I'm about to submit my report on Deshaun Watson did to me. That's not funny, Jeff. That's not funny. Stop it. Strange part is Deshaun Watson was trying to give a massage in a different area. Anyways, Jeff, trying to be a little serious here, buddy. I don't know. Look, I agree with you. It should be 6 games or more. I just don't know what we're waiting on.
And with all this that's coming, and maybe that's what they're waiting on, is they're waiting to see how many of these get substantiated, how many he has to pay. Maybe that determines the deal. But I mean, you got to suspend him before camp. You can't.
Maybe that's part of a punishment too for whoever took them. Maybe we're gonna wait as long as possible.
All they're doing is hosing
Baker
Mayfield. That's all they're doing.
I don't think he's getting traded now.
Not now. Not now. I mean, you're at camp. He would have to go jump and learn another offense. I mean, that was not fair to Baker.
All right, Craig, it is time for your hockey hat trick.
We're down to 4, boys and girls. The New York Rangers won last night in Game 7. They went into Carolina and shocked the world and went wins 6-2. Goalie stands on his head after being down 3-2 in the series. You looked like Carolina had all the ducks in the row of where they wanted to be. And the New York Rangers come out of nowhere and shock the Carolina Hurricanes and send them home. I still believe the two teams that are on a crash course are Tampa Bay and the Avalanche. I think Tampa Bay now, if Edmonton made after having a big work of letting up 9 goals in the first game against the Flames, they came back and won the rest of the series. They had some close games there, but I just think I don't think Edmonton can hang with Colorado. I think that's over in 5, maybe 6. And if Tampa goes in and takes a New York Ranger team that has been hot and that is playing really good hockey in the right time in the playoffs, and they go 4 or 5, watch out, because Tampa is for real. I still think Tampa and Colorado are on a crash course, and it's going to be amazing. Carolina had some injuries last night. Their forward got unskated. I mean, his skates left the ice. He left with an upper body injury, and then the goalie stretching for try to save a puck looked to be like a groin or leg injury or something to that effect, trying to make a kick save in the second period, and Carolina just ran into a buzzsaw. I just Tampa and Colorado are, to me, heads and shoulders above deal. The New York Rangers will be a team to deal with in the future. They're super young. They're super talented. This is all bonus. And I just believe that Tampa and Colorado are going to be the ones that are going to face off in the Stanley Cup, and it's going to be an amazing Stanley Cup.
I'm looking forward to it. As like you said, I've been getting more into hockey this year and watching especially the playoffs, and it's intense, man. It is one intense sport. Every shot you're going, oh my gosh, is that going to be it? Is that not going to be it? Is that going in? Is it not going in? It's intense. Jeff has one more remark on the Deshaun Watson thing. He says, I'll bet the NFL does jack squat, because if they were going to do it, I think somehow the Cleveland Browns would have known something, and they wouldn't have just signed him to a massive contract.
I can't disagree with him, but man, do you want to know that? I mean, the amount of, I mean, there will be people standing on the steps of the NFL headquarters with pitchforks and torches ready to burn that place down if they don't do anything. Look, there's just no way.
Well, I don't agree. They're going to do something. And I don't agree. Cleveland put in there this year that in his contract that if he's to be suspended, just in case he's suspended at all or the whole season, his cap hit this year is only $1 million. So I think they put that in knowing he will be suspended. We don't know how much. So we're going to do this in the contract, and Watson agreed to that. So his cap hit's only $1 million a season.
Yeah,
so
but I think the NFL does a $34 million signing bonus.
He is
whatever loophole they,
Let's not act like the NFL has morals. You cannot act like that. They have no morals. They don't care.
Then why have the rule?
And because they've got to set some rules and have a standard. They don't always follow.
You're not going to follow them,
and that's the problem with Roger Goodell. You have no clue what his punishments are going to be. And I think that's the problem with him being the judge and executioner. That's a big issue in the NFL. Your Cowboys got it with Zeke. Zeke got suspended, and you're going, what did he get suspended for? And that's a whole nother can of worms. But
yeah, he got suspended for something he wasn't even in the NFL yet.
So it's insane. That's the problem with the NFL. But look,
the lady doing his investigation had giant stuff hanging in her deal. Yeah, I wonder who she's going to side for.
If I'm a Cleveland Browns fan and I'm a Cleveland Brown organization, I'm making this trade too, and I am loving this trade. Bottom line, as a fan, you want your team to win. I want my team to do whatever it takes to win. Look, Green Bay Packers drafted a guy who this season who has some domestic violence on him. I said I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't think we'd ever take a guy like that, but they did this year. And if he, hopefully he helps win some games, because the NFL is not going to this. This is never going to change, guys. It's never going to change.
Yeah.
Never.
No, I guess not.
Well, all right, guys, that is our very long Tuesday edition. Actually, the headlines were actually pretty short, but the 32 team rankings was about an hour, so that's good. Let us know, guys. Let us know what your 32 team rankings is. You can email us at outspokensportscast@gmail.com. You can leave us messages on Facebook and any social media. You can find us anywhere, Craig. You can find us anywhere. You can find us
sir.
We stream live to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. We also are on all podcast platforms. So there's no reason why you can't listen to our show. But feel free to click like, subscribe, listen, all that jazz. Sorry, Jeff just threw a comment in, but sorry, Jeff, we were kind of trying to wrap it up here. Roger Goodell, didn't he just sign a new?
Yes, I think he
just signed a big contract, so he's not.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere anytime soon. Jeff asked when we think he'll be replaced, but because he works so well with the owners that they don't want him gone. But anyways, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. It's supposed to rain here in Texas, especially Thursday and Friday. Some tomorrow, so that's not great. I can't stand the rain. You're still on recycle tomorrow, Craig?
I'm on recycle till further notice.
Well, I got to go help out Brett and do after I finish my route, which I didn't get off till about 2:00 today, but I got to go help out with downtown route that I don't know. So
be careful.
Yeah. Anyways, hope you guys have a fantastic week. And keep it outspoken.
We will see you Friday.
We will see you Friday. Remember always, keep it outspoken.